are back on SportsCenter with breaking news from the floor of TD Garden. Woj, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Kenny Atkinson, Golden State's assistant coach. He's agreed to a 4-year deal, I'm told, to become the new head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. Previously, he was a head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Atkinson met with Michael Jordan, Charlotte's owner, Wednesday here in town, solidified that offer. And now he'll be the 4th coach in this Steve Kerr era, including Mike Brown, who's on the bench in these finals, who's on his way to become the next head coach of the Sacramento Kings. But Kenny Atkinson, listen, he goes to Charlotte on a team that has gotten better each year. The last few years, they fired James Borrego, but they want better defense. They wanted better accountability with that group. It's been very good. They've gotten young players better, but Kenny Atkinson now goes to Charlotte to become now their new head coach, and obviously he'll finish up here in the finals with the Warriors.
For those of you saying, like, I know Kenny Atkinson from Brooklyn, though, right? Like, and he was hugely responsible for the KD and the big trades, making sure that those young players were able to develop. Adrian Wojnarowski with the latest, much more from here at the Garden. Kay Perk will join me in a second to talk about how hard in the paint the Celtics win and how the Warriors can quell that tonight. Kevin?
Hell, thank you. Good stuff with the breaking news from Woj. Celtics fans feeling really good. It's such a tough environment to play in Boston. The fans are passionate and knowledgeable as they hold the 2-1 series lead. By the way, down 2-1 on the road. First time the Warriors have experienced that. Trailing in a series on the road this postseason as they come in here just 2.5 hours away from tip-off of Game 4. 75 years of the NBA, and we're experiencing a first in these finals. A player opening up after each game, and I'm not talking about the postgame, I'm talking about the podcast after the postgame. Draymond Green Unfiltered, it's entertaining. It also holds no punches, especially on the host. And Green's podcast on Wednesday night performed better than his game performance hours earlier in Boston. And right now, the Warriors need more than that from the heart and soul of their team. Here's Kirk Goldsberry.
The Boston Celtics won Game 3 with an old-school approach that would make Bill Russell proud. They absolutely dominated Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors around the basket on both ends of the court.
Steph Curry sets the tone on the offensive side of the ball. It's my job to set the tone on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, Draymond, after only scoring 24 points in the paint in their Game 2 loss, Boston responded with 52 in that key area in Game 3, while holding the Warriors to just 26 paint points on the other end.
They're just getting overwhelmed right now at the basket.
The Celtics also dominated the boards, out-rebounding the Dubs 47-31 in Game 3. Boston's 15 offensive rebounds helped them score 22 huge second-chance points. The Warriors managed just 11 of those. In fact, Game 3 was the first playoff game for the Warriors where they were doubled up in both paint points and second chance points under Steve Kerr.
Gotta take away the easy stuff. They've had too many easy buckets.
A lot of that has to do with Boston attacking Green, who is allowing 1.24 points per direct touch in the finals, on pace to be his worst efficiency allowed in any series since player tracking began in 2013-14. The Celtics are also shooting a staggering 49% when Green is the primary defender.
How do you feel you played?
Through 3 games, Draymond Green is just 5 for 19 from the floor in this series, and he has 15 total fouls. If he can't help the Warriors set the pace in the paint, well, the Celtics will be raising another banner up in the rafters.
SportsCenter on the Road is presented by Rocket Mortgage as we are joined courtside here at the Garden with my guy, Kendrick Perkins. We're sometimes in front of a river and sometimes we're here courtside.
But we right where we need to be.
We do exactly what we need to be. Speaking of being where you need to be, that was the Celtics in game. That was their Waka Flocka game. They went hard in the paint. You know what I mean? I knew he would know what was going on. So if you're the Warriors, how do you make sure they don't take advantage of you there again tonight?
Well, I think Steve Kerr has to mix it up, and I think Kuminga is the answer. Again,
really?
I'm not saying start him, but I'm saying at least give him a shot. You know, throw him out there. If he plays well and he gets 1 minute, then he gives you a reason to keep him out there 2 minutes. But Kuminga is the only player outside of Andrew Wiggins that could match the athleticism of the Boston Celtics. Rim protection, lob threat at the basket. They need that.
I know he's not perfect and he's young and there's some questions about, how effective he'll be, but certainly they can't keep doing what they've been doing, which is not working at all. Speaking of not working at all, Steph Curry has been working incredibly hard, and we know that, but you take a look at that final frame, the fourth quarters for Steph. We showed a graphic earlier. He only has 6 points total in this series in the fourth quarter. To what do you attribute that?
To Ime Udoka, his game plan, throwing multiple bodies at Steph Curry, starting Marcus Smart on him, then all of a sudden Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, that weighs on you. The great Shaquille O'Neal said, hey, look, I know a lot of guys that could take a beating the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. By the fourth quarter, they're dead. Because of the lack of production from Draymond Green and others like Jordan Poole, Steph Curry is having to do so much on the offensive end. They're picking on him defensively as well, and it's draining him when it matters the most in the fourth quarter.
You said defensively, when he was the primary defender in Game 3, the Celtics shot 71% of the time. But look at how he's working, particularly as the ball handler. You're taking a look here, according to Second Spectrum, when it comes to the pick and rolls, and he is being used exponentially more in pick and roll situations in this series than he was all season long. Kendrick Perkins with the latest here. We'll see K-Perk on NBA Countdown as well.
Hey, we here.
Okay, that's what we do. I thought you were going to hit me with like a Waka Flocka or something. It's going to be a Grove Street party. We'll certainly see. Get us some money, Kevin.
Hell, here we go. All right, do you hear that daily wager? Let's go. Time for our Pick 6 here. We do every single night on SportsCenter on the 6 p.m. slot. They like the Celtics as 4-point favorites at home tonight. They're coming off a 16-point home win and are outscoring teams by 6.6 points per game at home this postseason. Also in tonight's finals game, they've got Steph going under 38.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists. He's averaging about 36.5 PAR on the road this postseason.
Cleveland plans are actually much more raucous than they are in Boston. Just stop it. Draymond Green, by the way, we just saw it there in the montage. It's just been really up and down, self-admittedly playing terrible basketball. His defense tanking at the worst time. According to Second Spectrum and ESPN tracking, he's allowing the most points per direct touch, the highest field goal percentage, and his lowest contest rate in any one of his series since tracking became available back in 2014, calling Game 3 one of the worst performances of his career. For much more on Draymond, let's get it over to Greeny and the NBA Countdown crew.
Thank you, El. We see you over our shoulder over there. Big Perk is in for Stephen A. Smith tonight. Congratulations to our teammate, Stephen A. Smith. He's at his daughter's graduation.
Cheers to her.
Family first.
Cheers.
But Big Perk is a member of the family. Michael Wilbon, Jalen Rose, Greeny here. Be with you all night long leading up to this game. We'll get to Draymond in a moment. But first order of business is going to be Woj, because we need to get the update on Steph Curry. He was banged up in Game 3. What is his status going into Game 4 tonight, Woj?
Yeah, Greeny, Steph Curry is good to go tonight with that left foot injury. You talk to people around the Warriors, and they're confident in his ability to manage that foot injury tonight, manage the pain. He described it as a far less severe version of that foot injury that kept him out for about a month prior to the playoffs. And listen, they're going to need him. He's got 18 three-pointers in the first 3 games of these finals. No one's ever made more. And certainly with their season, certainly a significant Game 4 tonight, down 2-1. I think there's a lot of optimism around the Warriors that they'll get Steph Curry's best tonight. He'll be able to play through this. And